Just wanted to do a quick summer update. We've had a couple of really hot days. Yesterday was about 37 degrees Celsius and today is meant to get up to about 38 degrees with possible rain and storms. So the sempervivums, these ones are looking actually a bit better. I did have a cooler day and so I gave them a bit of water, but yeah, I do notice that these are actually really good in the heat because they just kind of start to close up a bit, and then when they get a bit of rain they open up and so they actually look a bit better. So I've just got these guys out. These are in full sun pretty much. They're still in pots. They really need to go into the ground, but they're doing okay considering we've had such hot days. These Aeoniums haven't gone completely dormant. They're out the front and they're in full sun too. So it surprises me. They start to close up a little bit, but they actually haven't gone dormant. So there's quite a few of them here and they haven't closed yet, even though they're in full sun. So it just shows you that some plants, especially some of the succulents, can actually adapt to their environment. So they're looking okay. And these guys are looking all right. They're in full sun too. Around here is more sheltered, and so the Aeoniums are still looking okay. See how they've started to close up? That's their way of protecting themselves from the hot sun. So they've started to go a little bit dormant, but they're still not completely closed. There's a few pests I need to get onto. So there's some mealybug and some ants. When you see ants, it's often just a little hint that there's mealybug as well. So you can see that they're on a lot of the blooms as well. I don't know if you can see those ants there, but there's lots of ants everywhere at the moment. And you can see in there, I don't know if you can see that, but there's definitely mealybug in there, but I can't treat them until it cools down a little bit because I don't want to shock them by putting some alcohol or even insecticide on them when they're in the heat. So a few pests around. Some of these guys are looking a little bit more shriveled because they're in full sun as well. So they're still looking pretty good, these pots, but yeah, there's a few pests and things that are attacking them whilst they're looking a little bit dehydrated, but they're pretty good. Aeonium ballerina, so they've closed up a little bit, but they're still looking pretty good. Sorry, my shadow's in the way there. Anyway, let's go around to where it gets even more afternoon sun and see what's happening around there with the plants. So these Aeoniums get the afternoon sun. So you can see they've started to close up a bit, but because they're nice and big and juicy, they're not doing too badly. Whereas these guys behind here, have a look at that. That's a little bit smaller, that plant, and have a look at the Aeoniums. They've closed up, and this is their defense against the heat of the summer. So that's how they are able to survive. We've got a few things that are a little bit sunburnt. So there's a couple of marks on some of I think they might be a cotyledon. So this is looking beautiful though. This gets full afternoon sun, the Medusa. It's a euphorbia and it's doing beautifully. There's even a little extra head in there. Let's move that out of the way. Have a look at that. It's got a new little head growing there. So it's sent off a pup or a baby, and it's just loving life. So that obviously, and it's still green. That's what I can't understand. You would think that having full afternoon sun, and especially with the last few hot days, you would think that it would have actually coloured up, but that stayed nice and green. So it's quite happy. Let's see what else is happening in summer. These Aeoniums here, you can see that the weeds have grown back, even though I pulled them all out not that long ago. But these Aeoniums were planted as cuttings in pretty much the middle of summer, and they actually seem to be doing all right. So I don't know if they've got roots or not. Yep, so these guys have started growing roots, even though they're meant to be dormant in summer, and I planted them, I just put them here in the middle of summer. So even though that's the case, they've actually started to throw down roots. So I'll put that one back in there now. So these were just cuttings, and I didn't know if they would actually throw off roots in summer, but anyway, These ones aren't doing quite so well, but they were just cuttings in the middle of summer too. I just happened to have some cuttings that I had to take to cut some back somewhere else, and so I didn't know what to do with them, and I thought they're not going to grow in summer, but I'll put them in here anyway. And yeah, they've actually grown some roots, so that's pretty good. I've had to move these away from over there. There's a nice little area there that I had my plants in, but we're meant to be getting new roller shutters. And so I've moved everything into this garden bed along here, and they're actually more sheltered and they're quite happy over here. I've got these stacking pots and I put some cuttings in them ages ago and they've grown so amazingly, but I need to go through and actually take them all out and replant them up. So there's a crested, I think that might be a Francisco Baldi or something, but that's actually a crest there. Don't know if you can actually see the cresting, but it's there. And this one here looks like it's crested as well, so they're looking lovely. It's interesting how some of the graptos seem to crest really easily. Even that one there is starting to form a bit of a crest. See how the trunk there is a bit wider. We've got a couple of crests up here as well. So these guys are really happy over here, but like I said, they're very root bound and they need to actually be taken out. Some jelly beans in there. I don't have a lot of success with jelly beans, so I'm quite happy to keep these guys going. You can see that the mealybugs just love the scents. So you can see that looks like mealybug in there. So all these guys, a lot of my plants have got mealybug in them at the moment and they need to be treated. But I'm just waiting for some cooler temperatures so that I can treat them and have them not just die on me. There's a sedum donkey tail over there. Got some lovely guys over here. There's a big aloe there. It's throwing off lots of pups as well. It might be brevifolia, not sure. Alright, there's another Aeonium there, and this guy's closed up as well. So it's just interesting that even though some of them have sort of gone semi-dormant, they're just still hanging in there. Like, we've had some really hot days, and I guess they were made for this kind of weather. Well, not all of them, but some of them. So some of them are doing better than others, but these guys over here, which have the shelter of some trees, they're actually looking quite happy. So that's really good. We've got our little cacti over here. So some of those have had blooms, and they've got spent blooms on them now. I don't think these guys are throwing off any seeds. Not sure. There's a couple of little euphorbias. They're rather cute, aren't they? But these guys have got more shelter now. This one is Anacanthus arachnoides, and they look like they need a big drink, but I can't water those until it cools down. I've taken a whole stack of seed pods off these. You can see there's another couple of seed pods on there. There's that one there. You see that? That needs to come off. And then there's this big one here, this big seed pod here. See if I can get it to focus. And that one is from Anacanthus rufescens. So that one looks like it's actually about ready to be harvested as well. So we might do that as well. Maybe plant some seeds at some stage. The little pagoda village, the crassula, it's got some beautiful blooms on it. Look at that. They look lovely, don't they? And then we've got a couple of packies, and that might be a black knight or a black prince over there, the Echeveria. So they're looking nice. There's a little Pachyphytum compactum snuggled in there. I love those, just love those leaves. They're absolutely beautiful. And then we've got a couple of rat tail cactuses, golden rat tails over here, which are about to bloom. So that one's got a bloom there, and then there's also a little bloom up here. So these guys have been getting a lot of sun over here, and they're quite happy. They need to be repotted. They've been in these pots for ages. So it's another job. The jobs just never end, do they? But anyway, I just thought you might like to check in on a few of my plants in summer and see what happens to them. They do have some pretty good defense mechanisms, some of them, by closing up and just conserving that energy and that moisture inside of them. But they're just amazing plants, these guys. I don't know how people, like everyone isn't just amazed by them, but if you're watching this video, you probably get it. So if you did enjoy this video, just a little update, please do a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're getting closer to 500 subscribers, so that's really exciting. And if there's anything you'd like to see in future videos, please put something in the comment. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.